expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, this is Brother Mike. Yes, I am back on the radio. 14 years of it. Thank you for tuning in. May God richly bless you today. Today's Bible study is going to be an interesting one. Some new research has come out on the public hazard number one, pornography. Hey, would you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on, particularly somebody who's struggling with porn or struggling with sexual lust? This will be a very, very good program for them to listen to. I'll make a couple of announcements, such as I am the professional counselor at the House of Healing. This is Brother Mike. We're on 11th Street downtown, just south of Indian School Road and west of the 51 freeway, down by the VA hospital in Central Phoenix. The website, hardcorechristianity.com, has all of our services there, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have services for healing, teaching, and deliverance, all starting at 7 o'clock. You can sign up for our Facebook page on the website. You can sign up for our YouTube teaching channel. We now have 4 teaching channels on YouTube. Please remember to hit the PayPal button and send us a donation. May God richly bless you. You can also send in your prayer requests off the website. And public hazard number one, pornography. I found an article in USA Today I thought you would be interested in. It's very interesting. It comes out of Salt Lake, Utah, the Mormon capital of the world. Here it is, quote, in an unprecedented move, Utah Governor Gary Herbert will sign 2 measures declaring pornography a public health hazard and promises to combat the sexually toxic environment it creates. According to CNN, Herbert is expected to make one resolution and one bill law Tuesday morning after the measures passed the state's legislature earlier this year. It cites detrimental effects on XXX users, including biological addiction, changes in the brain development, emotional illnesses, and difficulty maintaining relationships. Can you imagine that? The Mormons are ahead of the Christians. The Mormons are ahead of the Spirit-filled Christians. Check this out. The symptoms of pornography, according to their research, are changes in the brain, biological addiction, emotional illnesses, and difficulty maintaining relationships. What's the one thing they're missing on that list? Yes, it's a spiritual illness. It's caused by unclean spirits of lust. The article goes on to say, quote, the resolution also says pornography, quote, equates violence toward women and children with sex and pain with pleasure, which increases the demand for sex trafficking, prostitution, child sexual abuse images, and child pornography. Wow, they couldn't have hit that on the nail harder. The Mormons have got us beat, folks. They're ahead of the curve on this one. USA Today notes that the resolution was introduced by Republican State Senator Todd Wheeler to battle the pornography epidemic harming the state and the country. A Harvard Business School's professor wrote an article in 2009, found that Utah was the #1 buyer of adult films. Can you believe that? You probably can. The seat of Mormonism, the state religion in Utah, is the #1 buyer of adult films. And this is their method of trying to counteract it by passing this law that it is a public health hazard. Quote, we want Utah youths to understand the addictive habits of porn that are so harmful to our society. Pornography doesn't affect the secular world. It says here, a 2014 study by the Barna Group found that 77% of Christian men ages 18 to 30 and 55% of married Christian men view pornography every month. A more recent Barna Group study showed that 21% of youth pastors and 14% of pastors struggle with porn. It further noted that 67% of young men and 49% of young women consider viewing porn to be acceptable behavior. In a recent article posted on his website entitled Why Porn Kills Sex, Russell Moore, president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention, argued that pornography is occultism aided by unseen criminal spirits, and it kills sexuality. Did you hear what I just said? Now the Baptists are ahead of the Spirit-filled charismatics and Pentecostals. They recognize that pornography, the Baptists are recognizing that pornography is related to demons. And in fact it is. It's related to unclean spirits of sexual perversion. The results of the finding was this. Listen to this. It's very interesting. Quote, pornography disrupts this connection in the bond between the husband and wife, turning what is meant for intimacy and love into masturbatory loneliness. Pornography offers the psychic thrill and biological release meant for communion in the context of freedom from connection with another. When pornography enters into the marriage, the result is shame. The shame enters the marriage. Did you hear that? And it kills the intimacy between the husband and the wife. And in my marriage counseling practice at the House of Healing, I have counseled dozens of couples who have allowed pornography into their homes and have reaped a horrible reward. What happens is when you use pornography to spice up your sex life, it's actually a form of adultery, because Jesus said that if you look upon a woman to lust after her in your heart, that's the same as actually sleeping with them. That's the definition of adultery. The Greek word is moikia. It means heterosexual sex. Heterosexual sexual behavior. If you're looking at pornography, by definition, you're lusting after the person in the video. You find that person attractive. You're sexually attracted to the person in the video. If not, you wouldn't be using that video. You wouldn't have pulled up a video that you're not attracted to. By definition, watching pornography is something you're attracted to, and you need the stimulation for masturbation or for an acceleration of desire in your intimate sexual life with your husband or wife. The problem is shame and guilt enter the home, and the spirits also enter your home. And they don't just stop with you. They go to your children. They go to the kids. They go to any vulnerable person in your home to try to infect them and then start their march toward a life of sin, shame, physical illness, and death. Demons are extremely dangerous. And once they get into your body, they can kill you. In the vast majority of cases, they can't kill you instantly. They don't have that kind of power. But they don't kill you right away. They gradually tear you down. In addition, if a spirit enters your body of lust, let's say you watched a porn video and you felt something enter your body, which people have testified to me dozens of times over the years, they actually felt something, some source of energy, some sense enter their bodies or enter their face and move down into their stomach or their groin. Or when you view pornography, if you have strange movements in your body, not just sexual stimulation, not just a reaction in your genitals, but if you have a movement some place in your body, that is a red flag. You have picked up an unclean spirit. And understand that once these spirits get in, through more sin on your part, they can let in other spirits. And in many cases, they let in a spirit of infirmity, Luke 13. And that spirit of infirmity attacks a person's body and they start getting sick. They start getting ill. They come down with a disease. They come down with a sickness. In some cases, cancer spirits are let into the body by these unclean spirits people let in by watching pornography. The danger of viewing pornography is what they've said in this article. That is all very true. It does increase the desire for sex trafficking and child pornography and pedophilia and hebephilia and all these other things. And it does cause changes in the brain, but the reason for that, science doesn't understand. It's spiritual. These spirits can cause changes in your brain. They can change the biology of your body. They can cause emotional illnesses, and I've seen this hundreds of times over the years. Once the spirits are removed from the body, the person's emotional illness is gone. In fact, just this week I had a couple of people healed of clinical depression. Once the spirit is removed from the body, the symptoms of the illness disappear. And the one thing they noted in this article, they have difficulty maintaining relationships and their marriage. No kidding. While you're watching pornography, if you're watching it on your own and you're a husband, you then begin to see your wife as deficient because she doesn't have the looks or the skill and doesn't enjoy the sex like the woman in the video. You got to remember that the woman in the video doesn't enjoy it either. She's playing a part. She's an actress and she's getting paid, usually hundreds or thousands of dollars for a movie. They don't like the sex either. They're just doing it. And they're probably on drugs while they're doing it to soothe their conscience to get through it. The husband falls into a demonic deception and then wants the wife to perform similar acts or tries to perform the acts they see the man doing in the video on the wife. And if it's mutual, sooner or later, jealousy is going to be created with the videos, usually in the wife, if they mutually watch pornography together to spice up their own sex life. Everything's going to go bad when you pick up unclean spirits. If you do have them, you need to make only one call, 602-636-5800. If you're willing to repent of those sins and you want God to heal you of pornography and its horrible demonic symptoms, 602-636-5800. God wants you well, and He wants you delivered from this ugly monster. See you next time.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.